And we're a different breed, aren't we? We're a different breed to a lot of other people. We're sports people, we're athletes, we think differently to most people. We want to achieve great heights in our sport. We create our own path. We are blazing down trails that most people haven't gone down before. Only those athletes that we strive to be like have been down that path before. So they get what we're doing. And you know what? Most people are not game enough to do it. And even though we know what we want and where we want to go, it's still not easy. It's still tough. Welcome to the Tiffany Micah podcast. What we do here is build the strength and courage in you to accomplish your big dreams and goals in your sport. No longer will you feel limited. You won't feel you're not good enough. You won't question whether you will make it. Those doubts will disappear because you will have the competitive edge over your opponents and leave them in your wake. And the bonus is others will notice. Listen up and take notes because I will show you exactly how to do it. Hey there, this is Tiff from Tiffany Micah podcast and welcome to today's episode. I'm going to talk about this topic to you today because I feel that it's incredibly important for you. And it's not to let others dictate your future. And the short reason, I'm actually going to give you two reasons. The short reason is why, because it's your future. And you are the one who is in the driver's seat. You are the one who is in control. Your destiny is in your hands. And that's simple, isn't it? Short reason. But I have lots of long reasons as well. And I want to share these with you today, which you'll discover why I'm talking about this. But you are the one in control, okay? Make sure that you are aware of that. So firstly, we have our goals. We're set for our future because we know what we want to accomplish. And we're a different breed, aren't we? We're a different breed to a lot of other people. We're sports people. We're athletes. We think differently to most people. We want to achieve great heights in our sport. We create our own path. We are blazing down trails that most people haven't gone down before. Only those athletes that we strive to be like have been down that path before. So they get what we're doing. And you know what? Most people are not game enough to do it. And even though we know what we want and where we want to go, it's still not easy. It's still tough. It's a jungle out there. It's scary, but it's exhilarating at the same time, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. And I think that if we're out in the Amazon, you know, with the grass, it's so thick, can't see through it. It's so tall, it's above our heads. And all we can see is that grass ahead. But the great thing about us, because we're athletes, we have this beautifully sharpened sword that every step that we take, we slice through that real thick, heavy grass, and it gets us one step closer to our goals. Every time. Chop the grass away. Chop the grass away. We take a step forward. And we have our map, but we can't see it from that aerial view because we're deep in that thick grass, or we're deep down on the ground doing the work. But we keep following. We keep working through that map because we know that each step that we take, each layer of grass that we hack through, we know that we are getting closer and closer to our goals. And of course, when we're out in the Amazon, when we're out in the jungle, we come across ravines, creeks, rivers, lakes, lions, tigers, gorillas, snakes, spiders, creepy crawly things. I couldn't even imagine what they were called. Boulders, everything else in the jungle along the way. We're going to encounter everything. But the thing is, being out in the jungle, you are the leader of your expedition. You are the one who blazes the trail, and I don't want you to ever forget that. Because the rest of the world, however, they are not the leaders of their expedition. They are not the leaders of their life. They are not the masters of their destiny. You are the leader of your expedition. You are the leader of your life. You are the master of your destiny. These other people out there in the world, they are followers, and they follow the leader. So when you have this amazing goal that you want to achieve in your sport, and you tell a follower, right? Someone who follows a leader, someone who doesn't think the same way you do, someone who could be a friend and they just coast along, they don't get it. They don't get what you're fighting for. They don't get what you're working towards. Because they're happy just to coast along. They're happy just to go through the motions and show up. They're happy not to give much effort and just do whatever, drift along. So they don't get where you're coming from. So when they ask you questions like, hey Tiff, why are you setting goals? Hey Tiff, why are you working so hard? Hey Tiff, why don't you want to hang out this afternoon? Hey Tiff, why do you plan out your days, your weeks and your months? They won't get it. And they don't have to get it either, because they don't think the same way you do. And you know what? That's okay. They're not wrong. They're just different to you, and you are different to them. So that's one reason, right? Is not to be dictated by others for your future, because you don't want to be like everybody else. You don't want to be a follower. You want to be a leader of your life. So what happens then if you have a coach who makes the decision for you that you're not good enough for the squad? What happens if they make the decision that your pathway to becoming the athlete that you want to become is over? What happens then? And you've only just begun the journey. What do you do then? And I'll give you an example. This is actually quite close to my heart. My niece, she's 12. She's heavily involved in swimming. She's been training in squads, a few mornings a week and afternoons after school. And she's been told in the last week that she won't be on the pathway to state or national swimming. And her only option is to do the fitness squad, and that's it. And so because her times are just a few seconds shy of state level, she's been told that that's it for her. Her swimming is over. And she's 12. This raises such red flags for me. I'm so angry about this, not only because she's my niece, because I love her dearly, and yes, I'm biased, but for any 12-year-old out there. I remember what it was like when I was 12 too. I was told that I was never going to be good enough as a tennis player. I had lots of people around me telling me that I'll never make it, keep bringing me down. And at the age of 12, if you think about it, at the age of 12, you are still a kid. You are still learning skills. You are still learning techniques. You're still learning how to compete. You're still learning how to cope with life, how to cope with school, how to cope with the fact that your body's changing and you're becoming an adult, even though you don't want to, right? You have no control over that. Your body is taking over. And this is the beginning of your development. But I don't care if you're 12, if you're 16, if you're 18, if you're 21, if you're 23, if you're 25. I don't care. There is still so much to learn. There is so much to develop. There is so much to improve on. You're in a constant growth, right? You're constantly growing. So as you get older, and I want you to burn this into your brain, as you get older, you will get better if you are mentored the correct way, if you are given guidance, if you are given feedback, if you are given encouragement, if you are shown how to plan out your future. But if you have someone in your life who judges you purely on the end result, and yes, I know that sport is purely judged on the end result, but there's so much more to that, right? Because you're talking to me that I've been a coach for over 25 years. I've pursued a professional athletic career as well. So I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I get it. But if you're judged purely on results, and if you're not being mentored, and if you're not being supported, and if you're not being guided, and if you're not being encouraged, and if you're not being pushed, then who are they to say that you are not good enough? Who are they to say that your sports goals are over at the age of 12? Who are they to say that your sports goals are over at the age of 16? Who are they to say that your sports goals are over at the age of 20? Who are they to say that your sports goals are over at the age of 25? Who are they to say that? It is just their opinion. Right? It is just their thought. That doesn't mean that they're right. If you came to me and you said, Tiff, I want to be the best athlete that I most possibly could in whatever sport, I don't care how old you are. Let's go. Let's go. All we got to do is work out how you're going to get there, and then you got to get into doing the work. We've got to plan it out. But we need to be mentored. We need to be supported. We need to be guided. We need to be encouraged. We need to be pushed. We don't need to be told because someone thinks that you're not good enough because you haven't performed at a particular level at the age of 12 or 16 or 20 that you're never going to make it. Remember what I said earlier. You are the leader of your expedition. If you are not getting the results yet, you know what? Doesn't mean that it's over. It may mean that it's time to change the strategy, because there's not just one strategy that's going to get you to accomplish your big goal in your life and in your sport. There's not that one coach that's going to be the answer to your goals. It's going to be a series of strategies. It's going to be a series of advice from different experts. It's going to be a series of testing things out. It's going to be looking for those competitive edges. How are you going to get those? It's going to be working on improving and making changes to your routines. It's going to be working on improving and making changes to your mindset. It's going to be working on improving and making changes to your skills. Right? So do not let anyone dictate who you become. Do not let anyone dictate your future. Because I can go on and I can tell you so many stories of things that people have said to me, of things people have said to other people about other people, right? They're just voicing their opinion because they wouldn't do it. They can't do it. It doesn't mean that you can't do it. And I'm going to tell you this one particular story because it happened many, many years ago, probably 20-something years ago, and I was watching a tournament on the TV. Very rarely do I watch a tennis tournament these days, but I was watching a tournament. I was quite intrigued, and they had an interactive question time. So what would happen would people would write in and ask a question, and live on air, the commentator throughout this tournament that we're watching would give feedback or make a comment or give a response into a question. So there was this young man, he was 16 years of age, had just taken up tennis. And he asked the question to the commentator is, what do I need to do to become a professional tennis player? Because he'd just taken up the sport and he thought, wow, this is what I really want to do. And do you know what the commentator said to him? It's burnt so deeply into my brain. To this day, it frustrates me. It makes me so angry. He said to this young man, don't even bother. He said, if you haven't made it by 16, you will never make it. And man, that made me so angry. How dare this commentator say that to this young man? How dare his opinion on someone else most likely quashed his dreams? Because he may have said, oh, well, this guy's an expert. He knows. Oh, well, I'll listen to him. I won't even bother. I hope that this young man, this 16-year-old, did go out there and pursue a professional tennis career. I hope for him, for his sake, that he did that. Because we cannot let anyone tell us that we're never good enough. Ever. It is not their opinion. Right? You are in the driver's seat. You are the leader of this expedition. No one else is. Why are there athletes out there that are so much better than others? Because they keep looking for the answers. Doesn't mean that they're more talented than anyone else. It means that they're looking for the answers. They're asking the questions. And that is what you have to do. So do not let anyone dictate to you that you are not good enough. Do not let anyone dictate to you that you will never make it. If you want it, you go out there and grab it by both hands and you go for it. Because I'll be behind you. I'll be backing you up. You do that. Okay? You've got me behind you no matter what. So do not let anyone ever stop you. Do not let anyone ever dictate your future from their opinion. This is your life, not their life. So I want you to go out there and crush it. Okay? That is exactly what I want you to do. So I hope you enjoyed what I had to say there. I am very angry at the moment about this, not only for my niece, but also just in general. It is not up to someone else to dictate who you become. It's all in your hands. Just go and get it. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, you're going to have to work hard. Yeah, you're going to have to, trial and error, lots of different strategies. Yeah, you're going to have to go and get lots of advice from various experts. Yeah, you're going to have to research how to get the edge. Yeah, you're probably going to have to read lots of books. You're going to have to do lots of courses. You're going to have to chop and change coaches. It's all okay. It is all okay. You're on this path. to become the most successful athlete that you can become. And I'm here with you every step of the way. So go out there and do it. So if you haven't yet signed up, I've actually got the free Successful Athlete Masterclass available for you. Yes, it is free. And in the free Successful Athlete Masterclass, I show you what's holding you back from accomplishing your goals. I show you how to get your mindset in check for striving towards your destiny, your future. I show you how to identify your strengths and your weaknesses in your sport and your mental skills. We identify the strengths and weaknesses in your mental skills. And I show you how to craft your plan to go after your sports goals in a strategic way. It is not left to chance. It is planned out and we take action. So I want you to come over, register for the free training for the Successful Athlete Masterclass. I want to see you there. Go to tiffanymica.com/Sam, as in SAM. You will get a series of videos from me for free so that you're out there accomplishing your big goals in your sport. I look forward to seeing you there. Dream big, believe in you, and go after your dreams.